It has also taught us that the rules aren't indestructible, but they are possible to defeat. In other words, it has given us the ones who are on the outside of the game board, hope. An important game piece that is the cue for everything as well as the game's turning point. It really was kind of a turning point moment. Higurashi. The game piece that uncovers the invincible rule Y that has been pulling the strings from the beginning. Because the impression of that is so strong, it's easy to forget about something very important. We can't forget that this piece also shows the path to smash Rule Z. Rule Z is the foremost tragedy of all the Fruit Erika's fate, and she has actually once given up. However, for Mayabara Keiichi and the others who have already learned everything, it isn't even an enemy. They knew the correct way to fight and fought according to the rules of the game board. As a result, we win, and that fact is more valuable than anything for us. Then Mayabara teaches me a lesson. There is no need to subject ourselves into any fate. The will to believe will defeat anything. The fate that always subjugated me is created by Takanomiyo's strong will to believe. So what he says is correct. To defeat the will to believe, we need a stronger will to believe. Strong intention can be pierced only with strong intention. We defeated rules X and Y and then challenged the final rule, Rule Y, but we needed more pieces. Each piece fought its best, but the strength of our enemy's pieces led by Takanomiya was just too powerful. She didn't even give us mercy. She squished us completely and made us restart the game all over again. Although we lost, we didn't give up our resolve in our hearts. Because we finally found the true culprit and also found the clue how to fight against her. We can't win with the pieces we have now. We don't have enough will to believe our strong enough intention. But Hanyu and I keep trying. We roll our die repeatedly, look for the greatest result, collect pieces, and try again. With a will stronger than Takano. Didn't you think of giving up several times before you got to this point? No. No, I haven't. I don't give up. I don't give in. But you made it because you believed in me and followed me. I kept going because I believed Mion would have a happy end at the end. Real talk. We're almost there. We can do it. Let's create the last piece, because that will be the greatest piece. We won't need anything else. The very last piece. Come on, let's collect the pieces. Let's collect miracles. And please put your hopes, desires, and dreams onto me. I will put it onto Mion, who's putting them onto you. Indirectly supporting you. You got this. Last chapter. Oh, hopefully we get into this and they don't... After collecting miracles from the 7 pieces, I finally got a hold of this piece. This piece holds our final fate. But before we take a peek, please wait just a little bit. No. The fate that's inside will be decided the moment we take a peek. Have I told you about the story about the cat in the box? Yes, Schrodinger's cat. A cat that is either alive or dead once you open the box. But while the box is still closed, it is in a little state of both alive and dead at the same time. Because the fate of it is unknown. You can't say definitively whether it is alive or dead until you open the box. But at that point, once you open the box, the other option is gone. It can't be the other one. So if you think it's alive and you open it and it's dead, there's no way it is alive. There's no hope that it is alive. It is dead. Is the cat in the box alive or dead? If you open the box, you'll know. But you won't know until you open it. It could be alive and it could be dead. In other words, before you open the box, the live cat and the dead cat coexist at the same time. Hey, there you go. Exactly what I said. And the moment you open the box and find out the truth, the incorrect answer disappears. The inside of this piece is the same thing. The future we desire and the future Takano desires coexist at the same time. They are opposing each other and denying each other's future. Once we take a peek, one of the futures disappears. If we have enough pieces, we can take a look inside this piece. But we only have the same pieces lined up the same way on the game board. And the game under the same conditions was Takano's complete victory. We've already tried to end the piece of the Mina Goroshi. We need more pieces. We need the help of a piece that's powerful and strong enough to defeat Rule Y. Until I get a hold of that piece, it's too scary to take a peek into this piece. But how do I get such a piece? It's a piece I've never gotten hold of before. To get it, I need it. Just one more time. I need one more miracle to get that piece. Yay, more fucking pieces to find. One more piece to find. God damn it. Oh, there it is. Leftover pieces. What is this? I never noticed this tiny little piece. Sometimes a piece gets cracked and breaks, just like how fate we believe cracks sometimes. A cracked fate is a completely different fate. Then which fate does this piece belong to? I pick up the tiny piece and try to match it with the pieces I have in my hand. And the last piece I picked is the piece of the Himatsubushi chapter. This piece is distorted from the beginning. And look. See? No, I don't. This tiny piece fits perfectly. With this tiny piece, how would the world change? What kind of miracle would occur? Oh shit, tripping out. The whole world warps. I reattached the broken piece, so I guess a fault line was created. But that doesn't mean I can't take a peek inside. It is already after the 60th year of the Showa era. It is a time after Furude Rika and the others' story finished, in the dead end of the June of the 50th year of the Showa era. Oh, nice and useless then. I hear an order with some interference through my headset. To all units, the chief has had a message for all of you. Listen up. Good work, everyone. The local police has given us 15 minutes to wrap this up, but I'm giving you a few seconds. Don't let a single person escape. The main target is a diplomat. Don't let him suspect you're a cop. Just grab him. But make sure you don't hurt him. If we do, it'll lead to diplomatic problems. There are dirtbags who hide under diplomatic immunity to deal with the local gangsters. They launder money from drug dealing and force people into sex slave trade by means to pay off high interest debts. According to the local embassy, some of the victims are younger than teenagers. Shitbags. Normally, this is a simple case with gangsters being involved. But when the police found out this case involved a foreign diplomat, things got complicated all of a sudden. Diplomatic immunity. Diplomats have diplomatic immunity, so they can't be arrested. But the police know he is an important figure in this scheme, and there's no doubt that he is the middleman between the illegal activities conducted by the foreign criminal organization and the Japanese gangsters. They can't let him escape. It would be easy to deport him, but that doesn't solve anything. The police have asked the embassy where he works for assistance, but they have denied the request. And the case was put on standstill at that point. And that's what they found, and that's when they found out that the organization is going to be selling our self-defense force classified radar and missile technology secrets. The Public Safety Division set the move on the premise to protect the classified government information. Yeah, I would want to protect that. Jesus Christ. And today is the day the operation is set to go. 2 men at the front stairs, 2 men at the underground entrance, 4 men at the back door. All suspects are believed to be armed. 2 more than usual, huh? It'll only take 2 seconds more than for that man. He shows no mercy. Can you hear Akasaka? You'll be the lead man. Be careful. Okay, let's move. This is Akasaka. Copy. Let's go. A man suddenly appears around the corner in downtown. It's Akasaka. But he doesn't have the naiveness that he showed when he first met Rika. When he gets to the entrance of the underground club, a bouncer with a heavy foreign accent stops him. "This place, members only. Do you have membership card?" Akasaka pulls out a membership card. It's a card that's very difficult to forge, so they could only get one. Since he is the lead man, he got it. When the bouncer confirms the membership card, he lets him in. Oh yeah. Akasaka passed the bouncer at the entrance. He's going down the stairs. Come on, Akasaka. At the end of the staircase, there's an overly decorated door, like the ones you see on those high-class clubs. The cocktail lights shine like venom, as if it's foretelling that this is the entrance of the evil cave. Welcome. May I see your membership card? The guard at the entrance takes the membership card and puts it through the card reader on the wall. Beep. An error sound. Fuck. A slight perspiration is seen on Akasaka's forehead. The guard swipes the card a couple of times more. Beep, beep, fuck. Get your gun out. Akasaka is having a problem. Did they change the system? If Akasaka gets into trouble, we'll change the plan. We'll secure Akasaka's safety. The other guard starts to look irritated. His right hand reaches inside of his jacket. He's probably reaching for his gun. Ding dong. The buzzer suddenly rings a delightful tone and the card reader flashes a green light. I'd give the biggest fucking sigh of relief. Oh, thank God. Immediately after that, the lock to the door unlocks. Thank you for waiting. Please go in. The guard pulls his hand out of his jacket and opens the heavy door. Loud music and flashing colorful lights spill out from the inside. A well-dressed guard comes from the inside and welcomes him. At this moment, Akasaka's first mission is accomplished. This is a go signal for all units. At the same time, it means Akasaka is in the enemy territory all by himself, and he's in an extremely dangerous position. This door is the biggest obstacle to make the ambush. The door locks automatically, so when it closes, it's locked at the same time. It's a solid door and it is extremely difficult to open from the outside. Somebody has to open this door and keep it open for several seconds in order for this raid to begin. And Akasaka is the only one who can do that. This is Akasaka. Entrance secured. Go, go, go! The building on the other side of the club is getting a new tenant, and there are 2 trucks parked in front of it. But they're both disguises. The door on one of the trucks opens and several dozen plainclothes investigators jump out. The same thing happens at the back door too. The ground level guards notice this and begin to draw their guns, but they are taken down immediately by investigators nearby who are standing by as innocent bystanders. Several dozen investigators quietly go down the underground stairs. These narrow underground stairs are another obstacle in this operation. Everything is on the security camera, so within a few seconds this ambush is going to be known. A push on the security button will make it impossible for the lock to be opened from the outside. That's why they must secure the door before the ambush. The guards on both sides of Akasaka notice the loud footsteps coming down the stairs. A well-dressed guard also realizes something is wrong. The 3 guards shift their attention from Akasaka to the back stairs. Akasaka senses their shift of attention. Akasaka takes a small breath and stops his breath. The 2 guards standing beside him suddenly rise into the air in strange positions. The fuck? Akasaka figured out his position alongside the 2 guards next to him, so he didn't need to check out with his eyes. But still. His fist drove into their face with precise accuracy. His moves are well trained and show no mercy against evil. They are as destructive as an armor-piercing ammunition. He retracts his arms at the same speed as he struck. Everything looks so strange in the flashing lights. The man who saw this probably can't figure out what just happened. The 2 guards are up in the air in weird positions, and the man who is standing in front of him is now crouching low. The time that seemed to have stopped suddenly begins to move at a crashing speed. The well-dressed guard is smashed to the ceiling and is now crashing down onto the floor. Jesus fucking Christ. Fucking monster. He will try to remember desperately while slurping liquid food at a later date whether it was his fist or a leg that broke his jaw. He probably won't remember. Luckily, he rolls on the floor and blocks the door, so Akasaka doesn't have to hold the door open anymore. This Akasaka, I'm going in. Wait for the backup. Akasaka. The room is filled with loud music. But everyone already knows the brouhaha at the entrance. Everyone, get down! As soon as Akasaka bellows his warning, screams fill the club. I'm on the ground with my hands behind my head. I don't want to die. Most of the people immediately duck to the floor as if they're trying to proclaim their innocence from this sin. But all the guards react quickly against Akasaka. In the midst of this, there are a few people who are trying to make their escape through the back with several guards. Akasaka restarts his breathing once again and then stops again, and he runs after them like a wolf. He jumps onto the table, smashing expensive bottles of alcohol and scattering glasses with ice cubes made from the icebergs of the Arctic. Dick, I was drinking that. God, I would love it if someone said that as he's run past. Dick, I was drinking that. You better pay for that. A foreign bodyguard whose previous profession must have been a professional boxer thoughtlessly stands in front of Akasaka. With a heavy accent, he tries to taunt Akasaka. But Akasaka doesn't care less about that. The only show this man was able to show was that he was able to block Akasaka's move. But it wasn't even a guard. The power of Akasaka's punches is so incredible it'll just break the man's bones in his desperate attempt to block them. The man's arm wraps in a strange way, and a moment after his face shows agony, Akasaka's left arm grinds into his face. Jesus. Yeah, I'd be pulling out my gun and just shooting at him. Akasaka is right-handed, so this man should be grateful that he is able to get away with just an orbital fracture. Another man tries to tackle Akasaka from behind, thinking this is his chance. He thought no matter how strong a guy is, he'll go down easily for being attacked from behind. He also thought because he's concentrating in front of him, he wasn't expecting attack from behind. But that's only if Akasaka is actually concentrating in front of him. He's very wrong if Akasaka isn't thinking of a guy in front of him. Akasaka knows exactly when and what is about to happen. The experience he has built up to this day taught him that. His body remembers the timing and method when menaces to society like these would make their moves from the back. His move contains fluidity from the left arm that he struck against the ex-boxer. His left arm retracts, and at the same time he arcs his left leg around beautifully as it crashes into the man approaching him from behind. A dull sound tells his nose is broken. But Akasaka already knows that. Akasaka continues his motion and directs a decisive right blow to the side of his head. The man slams into the wall and bounces back to roll on the floor. Akasaka takes another breath. Jesus. Under the glare of the flashing club lights, the guards realize they are up against a demon. And he's a fucking machine. There's no way to interfere with him. Shoot him! The guards are being paid to fight with humans. Fighting against non-humans isn't on their job list. Then finally the backup arrives. Maybe finally isn't a suitable word. Besides, everything happened in a matter of seconds. The time it took for Akasaka to take down those 5 guards was just a span of 2 breaths. Put your hands above your head and get down on the floor. I won't guarantee your life if you resist. Thanks to Akasaka's heroic move, the flow is already set. The impressive strike of Akasaka shatters the gang leader's will to run, and they are still down on the floor, but one of them smiles. You shouldn't touch me. It'll evoke a diplomatic scandal. Akasaka grabs his collar and smashes him against the concrete wall. There's your diplomatic fucking scandal. Are you a policeman? I have diplomatic immunity. I'm a diplomat. Smash again. Good for you. So how much do you get paid, huh? This will be a diplomatic scandal. Let me call the embassy. With a dragon-like roar, Akasaka's right fist pounds the wall right next to the diplomat's head. Immediately after that, his left fist pounds the wall on the other side of the diplomat's head. Akasaka pounds the wall 7 times, just a sliver away from the diplomat's head. His fist is powerful enough to crush this man's head easily. The man crumbles down on the floor and starts pissing himself. This is Akasaka. Target secured. The later investigation finds out that there was a secret getaway route that the Public Safety Department didn't know about. They found dozens of Soviet military-grade machine guns, and if Akasaka hadn't stopped them in the club, they would have escaped, or even worse. This operation might have ended in a brutal death toll on both sides. All due to Akasaka's great work, this operation was put down without a single shot fired. Come on, hurry. The local police will be here soon. Put them on the truck. Since the Florin diplomat is involved, we have to make sure that it doesn't look like this whole thing was carried out by the police. This operation is made to look like a simple gangster war. They dump the useless gang members and hand over the target to the police. Of course, before handing him over, they'll make sure he spills out everything he knows. This diplomatic pig will be used as a negotiation device by another part of our department. There is plenty of evidence that this pig is tied to the underground criminal organization. The embassy won't want a persona non grata on their hands, so they will cut off any ties with him. The rest is the other department's business. The public safety's job is to take care of the things regular police can't step in on. Akasaka, are you okay? Come in, Akasaka. This is Akasaka. We're on our way. You've done it again. The chief will be on your case. Akasaka is a demon. 5 men within seconds? That's not karate anymore. His fists are deadly weapons. But it was lucky none of them drew their guns. Knowing how brutal Akasaka is, he could have turned them into honeycombs. Shut up. Don't make me sound like an assassin. I have no mercy against evil, that's all. The pigs he caught today are not just average criminals. They've committed so many unforgivable crimes. The power of Akasaka's fist is proportional to their sins. The heavier their sins, the more powerful his blows are. Come on, round them up. Akasaka, make them hurry. The local police will be here. This is Akasaka, Roger. Did you guys hear? Hurry up. Roger. Command, we have five injured. Please have meds ready. There's no trace of naiveness in Akasaka. He has grown to be a vigilant ace in his department. Hell yeah. Next piece. Akasaka is training inside a dark dojo filled with the smell of sweats and mold. The dojo is located in the middle of downtown in a small building. It's not that big and they're not well equipped either. It sure doesn't look like a dojo where a skilled person like Akasaka trains. There are only 3 or 4 students including Akasaka. But this is a dojo Akasaka picked. To Akasaka, karate is the way to fight against his enemy, but he has a different reason. To achieve his goal, a dojo with many young students having actual physical lessons doesn't work. He has gone to so many different dojos, and this is the one he finally found. Every time Akasaka punches a sandbag, a heavy sound of his punch and a sound of a chain echo. He's not just punching blindly. He thinks first and develops his thoughts, then punch. It's more of a deep and low vibration than a sound. Drops of sweat scatter and the dust wells up in the air. It is an all-for-one type of strike. But he isn't satisfied. He closes his eyes and controls his breathing as if he's trying to hear the cry of cicadas. Then he punches again. It almost appears as if he's taking a break here and there. The other students feel the monstrosity of each propelled cloud, enough to send chills down their spines. I heard Akasaka works at the police department. Really? Someone like him as a policeman, I don't want to do anything bad. Oh shit. But his concentration is amazing. He never gets tired. On his days off, Akasaka comes to the dojo in the early morning. And he trains all day just silently. His training is no longer a physical one. It's more of a mental training to him. The other students already know his continuous concentration is the secret of his strength. But that's easier said than done. A man lives a life filled with many problems and is ecstatic thoughts. For a person to submit all his will into such a singular focus is more like trying to attain enlightenment than a realm of martial arts. A man has tried many different methods to achieve such enlightenment. There's not only one way. A man can get there as long as he focuses on that one subject. Karate is what Akasaka chose. The rumor says his wife is dead. Supposedly he's doing karate to forget about it. Really? That's different from what I heard. I heard that he couldn't save a girl or something on the job and he realized his weakness or something like that. Probably a mixture of both. Yeah, I can hear you. Quit talking about other people and train. Yes, sir. There's a small beeping sound. Somebody's watch is telling it's noontime. Akasaka, we're going to get some lunch. Can we get we get you something too? Sure, please. I don't care what you get. Thanks. Akasaka is more delighted about being alone in the dojo than having them bring back lunch for him. When they leave, silence fills the dojo. Shit. My focus dissipated because they were talking about me. But if his focus shifted because of a small talk like that means he has much more training to do. He has to train much harder if he wants to achieve enlightenment. He focuses again and starts to punch the sandbag, but the sound is a lot lighter than before, and obviously the strength in his fist is no longer there. He realizes he needs to take a break. He pulls out a towel from his bag and sits down. The sound of cicadas soaks into his body. The windows are open, but there's no breeze coming in. But he can feel a light breeze. Just like they say, the reason Akasaka started karate is Yuki's death. Of course, losing against the suspect in that kidnapping incident was one reason too, but more than that, the pain from Yuki's death made him start karate. Yuki fell down the stairs at the hospital and died while he was on the business trip in Shishibone. He couldn't get rid of the sadness, so he started karate. But in the end of the June of the 58th year of the Showa era, when the Hinamizawa disaster occurred, he realized something very important. A girl predicted Yuki's death, and in return she wanted him to help her. Yuki's death was an accident. He could have told himself that there was nothing he could have done. But the girl, Furude Rika's death was different. She knew about her death 5 years prior to that. When the Hinamizawa disaster occurred, he remembered about Oishi and called to make sure he's okay, and found out about everything. When he found out, he fell into despair. Furude Rika was the turning point in his life. If he had believed what she predicted and did something about it, maybe Yuki didn't have to fall down the stairs. He took the oath of serving the public as a police officer, yet he couldn't notice a plea of help from a little girl. He shoved aside a conspiracy shrouding her until it was too late. He had 5 years to do something about it, but he didn't do anything, and she died. Visiting Hinamizawa for the kidnapping case and the minister's grandson was definitely the turning point in his life. If he had only listened to what that girl said, Yuki would have never died. And he could have been there to help Furude Rika. These two things still haunt him. The series of mysterious deaths in Hinamizawa that he heard from Oishi was put on indefinite hiatus because of the Hinamizawa disaster. But it was apparent to both of them that this was just a conspiracy, some conspiracy behind it. To challenge such things, he needs all the strength and experience that he can get. He's devoted himself to gain such strength, but it's too late. Everything is done already. When he was stuck in this dilemma, the dojo instructor admonished him. There's nothing one can do that's already done. Then, the only thing he can do is to train diligently, so if the same thing is to happen again, he would be able to save a person in need. It's all too late. Everything is already done. Yuki died in an accident. Hinamizawa was destroyed in the gas disaster. And Rika was murdered as her guts were torn out while she was alive.